because I think people really found out it's not the texture which is a problem, it's what you do to the hair that makes it hard or easy to handle. And our butter really helped a lot of a lot of clients' hair, because when it comes to texture is where people go, no, I want to relax, oh, I want to texturize, where we don't believe in that. We actually don't do that in our salons. We think all textures could be handled in a way where you know, a person could feel beautiful about their hair and love their texture. You don't have to change anything about it, as long as you give it the, you know, your best, honestly, love on it, you know, just give it the best moisture. And us, you know, Africans, our hair just need moisture. Honestly, there's nothing that we need but moisture.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Turife, and this is the Millionaire Mind Show. Now, joining us today, we have an exceptionally beautiful guest today, and she will introduce herself. But first of all, thank you so much for making time for this interview.
Thank you.
And just having this conversation with us. So please introduce yourself and what you do, and don't leave anything out.
Okay. My name is Koki, that's my nickname, but I'm officially known as Elbeta Wandem, that's my real name. I am a hairstylist first, and then entrepreneur next. I do own 2 salons with my sister, and we recently, you know, put in a restaurant. Yeah, so yeah, I think that, oh, I am a mother of 2. That's all, I guess.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You have mentioned being in the beauty industry and having 2 salons, and then also venturing into the hospitality industry and having a restaurant. Did you have any conflicting interests? You know, these are two very different things going on.
I know. It's funny how God works things. So I started with hair from a young age, but then I've been in business, like, you know, I used to sell Kikomba clothes, I used to sell food with my sister again. So I think it's not conflicting at all for us. It is somehow a bit different when it comes to owning a salon or salons and a restaurant, but we did have some knowledge because we did catering for a little while when we were younger. And I guess now at this age we were like, okay, maybe we actually didn't even think about it. It's an opportunity that came, and we, as entrepreneurs, we couldn't see it, you know, past that, you know, and yeah, that's how we just added that one, because it's a small kitchen thing, which we're very proud of. But yeah, we're just entrepreneurs. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Okay. And how has been the feedback so far when it comes to the restaurant?
The restaurant, we thank God, we found a really an amazing chef. Restaurant business is all about the chef, really. If you have good food, people will come back again. And so far, so good, I must say. For us, it's a bit different when it comes to the business, because salons, we know it from a young age, that's all we did. But the restaurants, it needs a lot of attention, and I guess we're learning as we go, but the feedback is very good, we thank God.
So I was reading up on you, and there was a mention of where you were doing hairstyling at the age of 9 and how it was such a passion for you. So has it always something that you knew you wanted to do, or are there other careers that you were pursuing, but then you were like, you know what, this is what I'm good at and this is what I'm going to stick with?
It's actually very funny, because growing up I thought I would be an actress, famous. You know, I was like, this one, of course I'm going to be on TV. No. But then from when I was 2 or 3 years old, I had an issue with my scalp. So nobody could touch my hair. This actually, I recently, you know, put it all together, and I'm like, oh, that's how I became a hairstylist, you know. But then I loved hair since I was 7 years old, because my hair was being shaved almost every time it grows a bit. They used to shave it because of having issues, and they couldn't really figure out what it was. and that's how I started loving hair. Like my aunties would come home, I'll jump on the sofa and do their hair, and then by the time I was 9, I was doing my own hair, like crazy. I would just watch music and all that, and then I would see this braids and all, and then I'll do it on myself. Someone will ask me, please braid for me like that, and then I would braid someone. I started with braiding, and then I will ask my sister, basically beg her to do her hair, because she still has a beautiful hair. So then I just started loving hair. I enjoyed it, but I did want to be an actress or a writer or some sort of that, which I still think writer is somewhere in there in me. It will come out someday. But I quite love what I do.
Awesome. And dealing with hair, there's a lot of complexities involved. Things are diverse. There are different types of hair. One thing does not work for every type of hair. So what would you say Hair by Koki specializes in, and what makes you stand out in the beauty industry?
What makes me stand out? Well, the hair industry is ever growing. It's every single day you see something new. You have to learn every time. As a hairstylist, I never stop learning, and I don't think I say I have reached to that point where I am so professional, because again, you're learning every single year that a new trend is coming. I would say what makes me different is I do love what I do. Not different, but maybe for me, what my clients would feel comfortable coming to me is basically I see hair as a confidence of a woman. It's truly a confidence, and not only I do their hair, I really pay attention to people, who they are, what are they feeling today when they're sitting on my chair. Did they feel like they want to go shouting, or they feel like, oh, I feel cute, or you really have to go with their mood. And I think it's just that, and I do love hair. I love hair, and I love making people look beautiful. And that's one of the things I think it shows in your work. You really don't have to you can't pick something out. It's truly, it shows what I do, why I do it.
So please take us through the journey or the evolution of you starting, styling hair and just having a passion, and, starting with your relatives, and then to you having your own business, and then now you expanding to co-owning a business with your sister.
Oh gosh, it's a very long story, but I'll try to make it short.
It's okay.
Okay, so yes, I started loving hair at a very young age. At 18 years old, I went to a salon and told them, I'll be here from 9 to 6, teach me, don't pay me. That's how I learned now salon. The others were like, people coming to your house, the braiding is okay, the crochet and everything else is okay, but then the washing, everything else that you need to do in a salon for a client, I had to learn. But I didn't go to school for hair, so I was like, okay, let me just come, you teach me. I remember at 18 years old, I used to tell my mom, open for me a salon, and she's like, what? Like, I mean, what is wrong with you? You're just, go back to school. And I'm like, no, I'm not going back to school. I need to do hair. And then somehow it started there. I got hired somewhere, and then along the line, there was a few years where I didn't know what I was doing. Just being young and being a receptionist, being entrepreneur. Well, at that time, just selling stuff here and there, just trying to figure myself out, I guess. And then I remember the first salon, how I got straight into the salon, and then I never left. The beginning was it was Yaya Center. There was a guy coming, and he was like, oh, did you get hired? And I was like, to what? And he's like, oh, to the interview. You had an interview in the morning. It was Yaya Center, Chandrana, in the supermarket. And I was like, no, you're mistaken. It's not me. I passed, and I was like, wait, what? What was the role for? And he's like, oh, just a hairstyling, because I thought you're the one who my parents interviewed in the morning. The salon used to be called Ivoni. And then I had an interview, They gave me the job. Yeah, a few years, like I think, not years, 3 months working in that salon. We got an opportunity where we could open our small little salon, me and my sister again. And we started then, and then of course my son came along. I had to stop a bit, but then started again with a lot of stories in between. And then, yeah, the salon now, what we owe really truly is just God, because we kept on pushing. We really did push to be out there, to give all we can to our clients, and our clients never left with God's grace. And we opened the first one, which grew into a bigger space, and then the next one just recently actually happened with God's grace again. I don't know how it happened. I can't even explain it, because one day we thought, oh, we have to open this area because our clients needed us. And the next thing you know, after a year, there was a salon, just God's grace again. And then the restaurant again, it came within the same space. Yeah, I guess I could say a lot, so let me stop there. Yes.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Yeah.
So apart from just offering your services as a hairstylist, you've also now expanded into creating your own products, because you have an expertise on what hair is and what hair needs to just grow and be nourished. So now tell us about the Wondim's hair butter. I hope I'm butchering the name.
Yes, no, you're not. Wondim's. So Wondim's started actually about 5-6 years ago. Me and my sister experimented a lot in home remedies, and we're Ethiopian. So in Ethiopia, we are known for our butter treatment, which is raw butter. But then me and my sister tried so many things to add up something so that it could help not only with moisture, but with growth, strengthening, and everything else together. And yeah, so that was actually my sister's idea. I'm not good when it comes to other things except hair. So she really came up with all the ingredients, and we made it at home. We still make it at home. She runs it, she makes it, she does all the coming up with the ingredients, what's good, what's not good. Even though I know the hair, which I advise on, okay, clients don't like this, or clients' hair like that, but she's the, main person on that one. But yeah, it's been 6 years. Slowly it grew into now us shipping it elsewhere. People ask from all around the world. We send it to the States, Canada, and they love it. Clients here love it, not only one texture, because I think people really found out it's not the texture which is a problem, it's what you do to the hair that makes it hard or easy to handle. And our butter really helped a lot of hair, a lot of clients' hair, because when it comes to texture is where people go, no, I want to relax, oh, I want to texturize, where we don't believe in that. We actually don't do that in our salons. We think all textures could be handled in a way where a person could feel beautiful about their hair and love their texture. You don't have to change anything about it, as long as you give it the, your best, honestly, love on it, just give it the best moisture. And us, Africans, our hair just need moisture. Honestly, there's nothing that we need but moisture. Of course, there's the vitamin E and black seed oil and all that, which we include in our products. We do have a pre-poo treatment and oil, which is based avocado, and shampoo bar and all that. Still, that's how we started the butter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just throw you a curveball. You have talked about how you try to gauge the mood of your client when they sit on your chair, what's going on. So I'm thinking sometimes you just double up as a psychologist or as a therapist. So now, when everyone is different, everyone is feeling different moods. Sometimes you're very overwhelmed and you're very tired, and your client is also coming to you thinking, this is my unpaid therapy session. So when those days when you're feeling so low and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, how do you just manage to show up and be 100%?
Again, God's grace. Honestly, I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know how I do it, because I was telling my sister, I was like, I don't know. I've been feeling when I get so worn out, because I do work a lot, because the salon would run better if I am in the salon and be on a client's hair, not really sit down and watch. I can't do that, unfortunately, because my clients are used to my hand. But then whenever I get tired, I could say I take off, but sometimes I don't. And then I would go in and I try to give my best, and I really hope that is enough for my clients. But I did somehow sometimes break out myself, like, you know, I'll just be like crying with them, and there were so many incidents where, you know, the client is crying, I am crying, and I'm like, stop making me cry. You know? I have a lot of those things. I know my clients would just be laughing if they watch this, because I would just cry with them, honestly. And that is to do with life happens, you know, life happens, and there's so much that we can discuss and figure out, but sometimes you can't really figure it out. So the only thing to do is just cry it out. And sometimes I get too tired to even talk, and that's when I say, okay, I have to stay at home. Not because my hands actually, you know, people ask me, does your hand get tired, your legs? I'm like, no, my mind gets tired. I mentally shut down, not physically, because again, you know, God has been so gracious to give me you know, to give me this talent to work on and still, you know, sleep well and, you know, be happy with my job, so that I can wake up in the morning and do it again. But mentally, I do get tired sometimes, and I would take like 2-3 days, not so often, but when I can.
Okay. So what do you specialize in at Hair by Koki? What are the services that you offer?
Okay, so first thing is it's treating the hair is our first main thing when it comes to the salon. But me specifically, at the moment, I specialize in bridal hair. I do a lot of bridal hair, which I am very happy about. Again, I love making people feel beautiful. So for me, anywhere I'm needed, where people would want to feel their best self, I will be there. But the salon specializes on treatments, weaving, braiding, not relaxing. We don't do any chemical, and mainly taking care of the hair. We do have packages where clients would use consistently. Like, we don't, you know, I would say 60% of our clients use our packages where you pay monthly, not quite monthly, but you come every 2 weeks, and then they get you know, they're stuck with you. It's like a process. It's like a gym. You come, I know your hair, I know what it needs. Okay, what did we do today that didn't help you, like that. So that's our main thing, to just be with the client, with the journey, and you know, see it through, let it grow, let it be healthy, and all that.
Okay. What would you say has stood out for you personally, just being an entrepreneur all this time? What are some of the moments that have stood out for you and have just felt fulfilling for you?
Wow, that one. Okay. Fulfilling. I would say never giving up. I don't know if that is a good enough answer, because I don't think there's even a moment where I felt like I have arrived, you know, I've reached, you know. It's actually a process, and now is when I'm feeling like, okay, God, you know, within the process I would be fulfilled, you know, within, through it all I will be okay, you know. But there's always somewhere where we need to reach, where we can't really, because when you reach there and there is actually something else to be reached, you know, it's like it's still a process where I feel like I keep, you know, getting surprised. But now I'm like, okay, God, okay, this is the process where I am in, and I want to be in it, and I want to grow, you know, slowly, not actually, to the point where I feel like, okay, then I'm good, you know, I'm like, I'm this, you know, successful or whatever you call me, you know. No, it's actually a process, and
Okay. That is a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
What would you say are the challenges you've experienced, especially or more specifically as a woman in business? what are some of those moments that have been like, or just on the entrepreneurial side, what are those challenges you've experienced as a woman in business?
Woman in business. I'm trying to filter some things so that I don't go in, you know.
No, it is okay. It is a safe space over here.
Being a woman, I don't think it's being a mother, an entrepreneur, I would say, because I have 2 boys where you have to, it's a bit challenging to be there as a mother fully and also work and, you know, be there for your kids 100%. I think as a woman, that's the actually that's the main challenge I experience in being entrepreneur. Sometimes I'm like, I need to be with my kids, but then of course you have to work as well. You have to be, you know, at the business doing, in my case, doing hair. And I'm again learning how to be, because they're young, learning how to be a mother and an entrepreneur, and then make it work so that my kids don't grow up and be like, oh, mommy has never been in the house, she's been always working. You know, I don't want them to say that, and I really try. Yeah, again, you know, I'm very spiritual, and I think God has been giving me the grace to be a mother and entrepreneur at the same time. It's hard, but hard doesn't mean we can't do it. We're still doing it with God's grace. Yes.
And where exactly are you located? We have talked about having your own salon and expanding and also getting into the restaurant business. Where are the locations where people can find you?
The first one, the first salon is on Gong Road. You know where Quiva Kilimani is?
Yes,
that's where we are. Yeah, second floor. It's called Hair by Koki. The second salon is at Gigiri Box Park, which is 4B. The stall is called Wyndham's Koki Boutique Salon. It's new, so I'm still, even though that is our last name and our name. But then, yes, again, Gigiri Box Park is the restaurant as well. It's called Kas Kitchen, Ethiopian Kitchen, which is our mother's name. Yeah, that's where it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we're winding up, where would you say you see, you know, your journey as a hairstylist in, you know, like 5 to 10 years, or rather, what are some of the goals you aspire to achieve in the near future?
In the near future, you know, I get this, I get asked a lot, Koki, you have to have, you know, one of you, like, you know, we need another hand like you in the salon. And honestly, I want to be able to pass on what I know to my employees and really give it all. Actually, I want to be at a place where I can work, I can do hair, but still I am 100% you know, satisfied with my employees, and I want them to know, so that clients don't come to me and be like, no, but I want you, no, you know, that place I don't want, and then have enough time with my kids. What else? Where, yes, I think having a successful business that does not need me to be there at all. It runs by itself, and at the same time I have enough time, you know, for my God, for my kids. And that's where I want to be, and a settled life. You know, I don't want a hectic life. Yeah, I want
to be soft.
Yes, soft.
You have mentioned having employees. Have you ever? Okay, what has been the relationship, or rather, what has been the process of having other people work under you and having to tell people what to do, and sometimes having your authority questioned a little bit? How has that process been?
Well, you know, it has been a challenge, actually. That's one of the things I would say in this business, because, you see, I'm not a salon owner first. I'm a hairstylist first. So all the clients that came to me came because of my hands, you know, because they loved what I do. So when you have a salon and you want to employ people and you're standing there working as well, there is that clash that you will get where employees feel intimidated. I've been a hairstylist working in a salon, so I know how it feels. I get too soft with my employees, where I feel like I know you, like I know what you're feeling, but then sometimes the business part of it should not be like that.
Yes.
That is the challenge I've gotten. So finally, I have good employees. We have good employees, which I am happy with. But it's been a long time coming, because people come and go, you know. It's not like I've opened a salon and then there you are, chairs, you know, you
Yes.
work there and I'm never there, you know. That's, in that case, I would have had a long, you know, like employees that stayed for long, or, you know, happy. But then when an employee see that you're working and a client comes and be like, no, I want Koki. No, I want, let her do it. It gets a bit challenging for them, and that's why I want them to have, you know, all the knowledge, so that clients wouldn't have to come and be like, you know, I want Koki. I want them to be satisfied with the employees I have. That's where a salon will be, I think, okay, you know. But we're still learning. My employees are learning, which I'm happy about, and, you know, being willing to learn is all that I needed for my employees. And finally, I would say I'm very satisfied with whom I have. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we need to also talk about social media, because that's how people are putting themselves out there. How has that journey been for you? How, you know, navigating socials, keeping up with the trends, trying to make sure that your business is getting the reach that it needs to get, you know, with these platforms. Do you use social media, and how do you put yourself out there?
Oh gosh, yeah, that is the, oh gosh, social media has been a challenge. I mean, I hate social media, first of all. I don't know how people do it, but I am, yes, on social media, Hair by Koki and Wyndham's Koki Hair Boutique and the cast, all of them has social media, but then it's actually my sister who does most of the things. I honestly, truly, am not a social media person. I don't know what to write. I am like, what should I say now? Like, I send her the videos and I'm like, please come up with a caption, do something. I have never been that person where, you know, I just want to be, you know, and who I don't know. It's just been a challenge, but it's been good as well, because majority of, especially when it comes to bridal hair, majority of my clients come from there, which I do bridal hair almost every weekend, which I'm grateful for. It does do a lot. The more you are on it, the more you get clients.
More consistent.
Like 100%. I won't even lie. But yes, you need to be consistent, I guess, which we are trying to be. But it's there, yes.
Okay, so tell us your social media handles across all platforms so people can reach you.
Okay, so there's Hair by Koki, Koki. There's Wyndham's Koki Boutique Saloon. That's the second saloon. And the restaurant is Kas Ethiopian Kitchen. Yes, all three of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with us. Of course, it has been very enlightening. And the thing that has actually stood out for me is the fact that you do not use chemical products on hair. You just do it as it is, and just giving people that confidence, you know, no matter your hair texture, no matter what you have going on, you go to Hair by Koki and she'll have you stunning and beautiful.
Thank you.
My name is Turife, and until next week, goodbye.